Hi guys, what's up? Sealy here doing a review of my Lego Scythe Moc. So this is inspired by the board game Scythe. It's a lot of fun. It's World War I steampunk version universe. And so that's what I was going for, was a World War I infantry tanks but a mech version. So I started out with the German-like tank. These are actually the Saxony Empire, but I'm probably saying the name wrong. You'll hear that a lot. You'll hear me just mumbling my names wrong. So sorry about that. But these are like German-type infantry, army. We have the Polish-like army. I think they're something Polish. And then we have the Russian Union, Prussian Union. I don't know. But they're pretty much just Russians. So I'm just going to say their basic name. But they do have a more complicated name that will be hard for me to pronounce. So there's there's 6 factions in the game. And maybe 10, I think. But there's 6 factions. I know there's 6 factions in the game. And I chose 3 of them. Very basic factions I chose. So yeah. The layout was the layout. I just started out with the layout is farm-like, because in the game there's you can see farms. So that was what I was sort of going for, like a farm, a road, a wheat field being that's harvested, a water-like place, a building with a car next to it, a rock wall. So that was sort of what I was going for. Nothing fantastic. Just some random stuff I plopped down to make it have detail. I started out with making this with the tank. I looked at my tank, and I recently was looking over my scythe, and I sort of looked at my tank. I was like, I could make that tank into a mech, scythe-like tank. So I looked at some pictures, and I finally got a picture I was comfortable with. And I started to renovating the tank into a mech World War I German type tank. The turret is not fantastic. I had to make that ground up. The legs also, they're not super stable, but they hold it up good enough. So yeah, I took the body. I tried to replace all the green with gray, but there's just so many green pieces that are hard to take off that I had to leave great many green pieces. There's some black with the green, but the black I could keep. So the green just makes it look more camouflage, and that's cool. We have the inside of the tank. I knew after I was done with everything, after I was done with the tank, I started working on other things. And then I think the last thing I worked on was the inside of the cockpit of the tank. Sadly, there's no inside of the body of the tank, but the turret does have a inside. Inside we have 2 gunners, one to reload with the shells to reload the gun, and the other to steer the turret and look through the scope right there to see where they're aiming. So that's a pretty cool thing I want to do. Is a little detail, but it's very cool and epic. We have the German infantry World War I type. I don't have I don't have helmets that have pointy tips on them, and so that was sort of a bummer. But in what is this thing doing? Give me a second. There we go. I had to fix something on the camera. So I had to just use random helmets that I could find that look sort of German-like, and hats that I had on hand. But I think it looks pretty cool. They're cloaks. I don't know what they're called. They're jackets. Are homemade. They're just some paper I cut out and drew. I just colored them black as best as I could. I recommend, if you're gonna do something like this, it's gonna be trial and error. You'll probably mess up 2 or 3 times before you actually get it. But I would recommend trying to cut out a square, put it against the body of the Lego, cut the holes into it, then put it in, but make sure the holes are even And if they're not even, you place them on the minifigure, then just cut some off the sides. It works. Don't use just normal white paper, but use colored paper. But if you're like me, you don't have colored paper, marking it is fine. So that's what I did. Just want to share that little information with everybody. I don't have World War I like guns. I do have these guns, but they're all green, and so I had to use different weapons. I made my own backpacks because I don't have enough backpacks. So yeah, it's pretty cool. A lot of fun making them. I have a character. He's a I have a character with 2 dogs. There's 1 dog right there and 1 dog right there. 2 dogs, and here he is in the game. He has World War I pointy hat and 2 wolves, but I don't have those dogs, and making them would be sort of a difficult process. So I just have dogs, and so yeah. I'm sorry if I'm messing up on my speech. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing everything. That's just how it's going to be. I'll try to do my best, but like I said, I'm sorry. We have the Polish cavalry guys. We have a Polish character right there. She is a hunter-like sniper person. She has a bear, but I couldn't make the bear. Like I said, it'd been more of a difficult process to make a bear. And we have this Polish cavalry back in the background, which are them. They have the wings on the back. So yeah, I had to add characters because that sort of thing about the Scythe is the characters. We have I just taped those pieces onto the backs of the minifigures for the wings. He doesn't have wings because that would have been a more difficult process. But we have Polish infantry. I just pretty much took some nowadays brick arm helmets and some Star Wars bodies. I slapped them together, and some homemade backpacks, Lego backpacks. And yeah, they turned out really cool. I think they're very good. I think Star Wars does a pretty good job in going with the World War type era outfits, so you can just use them for World War I and World War II uniforms if you're doing something like that. Star Wars outfits. The Russians, were sort of a difficult process, but they were more challengingly fun. I knew that you need a World War I type 2 look to them, but also green, but steampunk. So that was sort of a difficult process. Here's their mech. I don't know if I've gone through their mech yet, but I pretty much took a Ninjago mech and I just remade it to look sort of steampunk. I based it off of this picture, so not super real resemblance. Let me get a look. So I tried my best, but again, Lego doesn't turn out as perfect as you wish, especially if you have my talents, which aren't very good at building stuff. We have this red flag. It's just a red flag from a Mega Bloks, and I just flipped it to the other side, just have red, because Russians like red flags. That's just a little joke I have. I knew they needed some type of cloak, so I gave them cloaks because World War I had gear like that, and yeah, I used some Star Wars outfits, such as this guy. He has a Star Wars Commander Gree body that sort of has a World War I look to it, so I used them. Yeah, it was a lot of fun making them. It was pretty cool basing the characters, the ones that you can sort of spot out, as basing them off. It was a lot of fun, really enjoyable. It took me about 2 days to make this mock. It could have been 1 day if I actually stuck to it, but sometimes you sort of get sidetracked. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was really cool making a game that I really enjoyed into Lego. A lot of fun. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're having a great day, and I will catch y'all in the next video.